Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to do a journey today into cancer, which is a pretty serious topic for a lot of people and for myself. I'm going to give you a brief history about my own life around cancer. Myself, I have never had cancer, but my mother had cancer, my brother, my father, and my sister all had cancer, and the youngest of all of them was my brother. He had cancer when he was 32 and died at 34. He had small intestine cancer, and I guess he was the youngest in Canada to actually get it. So it's not something you want to break a record for. Anyway, my mother, she had cancer, first breast cancer for 2 years. No, after 2 years. She had breast cancer and she went in remission for 2 years. And when it came back, 2 years after that, it went in her bone and liver, and she lived with that for 10 years. And it's a really big part of my life because I did everything I could to try to help her. And sometimes, and this is the hard thing about life, is that sometimes there's just nothing you can do to change the course of a person's destiny. Even though you do everything you can to try to help that individual. But the thing is, their soul remembers everything that you did and everything that you put forward. And that in itself is a blessing. And my father died in his 50s from cancer. So it's pretty interesting that when I look back, as my brother was 34, my mom was in her about 45, and my father was in his mid-50s. And I look at myself, and I'm in my early 50s, and 51 to be precise. I outlived my mother and my brother. It's surreal because you look back and you don't realize how fast life can go and how short their lives were. I remember when I was 16 is a really memorable summer, and I was living at that time by myself because I'm the youngest in my family, and I was living with my mother, but my mother wasn't able to be there. She was at her grandmother's sick every day, and so I lived with that. And so most of my memories of my mother was her being sick and fighting cancer, but it also changed my life in such a dramatic way, that I have a lot of respect for people and women and the struggles that she went through. And because my father left when I was 4, so I kind of was a stranger to me, which is a whole nother interesting experience. I don't blame him for anything. He got remarried, and I had no resentment. It was just life, you know. And one of the things that it's just, you look back at your life and you realize that there's so many people that have struggles that you're not aware of. People that have cancer, and the people that have to live with the idea that somebody they love has cancer. It's totally different experiences, but each one is a struggle. Each one is a battle. Each one is unique. And I'm not saying what is harder or what is easier. I know my mother, she had 5 kids. She was basically a single mother and raised us, gave up her whole life. And before we're really, just as she was getting old enough that she could have a little more freedom, she ended up getting really sick and dying. So she had a pretty hard life when it comes to what most people would consider, because she spent about 12 years of her life battling cancer. And in some ways, it changed everyone around her, made us all stronger. We all have memories of that experience inside our souls, inside ourselves. Like the hardest memory for me is I was in college, and my mother Like, I guess at this time she was really sick, but I've heard it so many times I never thought much of it really, because after a while you kind of get used to the idea that your mom's sick. But my brothers and sisters kept telling me, no, this is different this time. Because we had so many close calls over the years, it's not even funny. So I was in Toronto at the time, and I actually flew back to PEI, and it was different. My mother was about 80, 90 pounds, and I don't know if you ever seen anybody that was just about to die from cancer that struggled with it for a very long time. You'll never forget it. It's an experience that isn't easily forgotten, especially if it's someone whom you truly love. And to be honest with you, I never really got to know my mother as well as I would like, because I was still quite young. And it's funny because you're trying to, like, she struggled so much with her own life and struggling so much with cancer. We never really had the time to bond like most mothers would bond with their children. And when I finally got old enough that I could actually have these really strong conversations, she was already gone. But I'll go back to the memory. I had to make a decision. So I asked her, me and my brother both had to leave. He had to go back to his job because we've been already there for weeks, and we had no idea how long she was going to live for. We knew it wasn't going to be a very, very long time, but we still didn't know if it was a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. So we had to make a decision, or I would have had to repeat the whole semester. My brother would have, like, his basically jobs, he had to go back, and that's the brother that ended up passing away from cancer himself. So I had to leave with my mother bawling her eyes out. And after I got back to Toronto, 4 days later, I got a call on, don't even get me started on how that happened. But I ended up getting a call that she's passed away, and I couldn't actually go back to the funeral. Because first of all, we never had a whole lot of money at the time. And it was already decided that I was going to stay. It was this complicated situation, and I wasn't able to go back. So my last memory of my mother is her bawling her eyes out. And I'm telling you this story because there's so many stories in the world like this, some much worse. Because life can be hard. But through those struggles, through those battles, you really changes you. It changes you. It changes your life. It changes your personality, the way you look at things, the way you treat people. I grew up kind of alone with my own friends. I was the youngest by quite a bit, my family, but that made me who I am today, made me stronger. Watching my mother go through that and still staying positive made me have a huge amount of respect for her. Respect is something that's very limited in our youth nowadays, just to put it mildly. So I'm telling you, this is one of my stories, and the interesting part is my brother, a few years later, got cancer. I ended up going back, and I had 2 weeks to go back. Took 2 weeks off of work again. He was sick. You just don't know how long this is going to take. He actually ended up dying and was buried within those 2 weeks. So it's a different type of experience. And it's one of those things that you're just never going to forget. But in some ways, it kind of made up a little bit for the time that I had to leave with my mother. But it was extremely difficult to watch my older brother die at such a young age. The worst was telling my grandmother, which lived till 90, and she watched a lot of her grandkids die. and her own children die. She lost 2 of her sisters from cancer. It's a horrible disease, and I think I've talked enough about my own life, but I wanted to put this forward because I think it's so important for people to hear other people's stories and to experience different aspects of one's life. So I'm going to do a journey into cancer to help heal not just the people that have cancer, but the people's lives that affects, the people that are left behind to deal with loss of loved ones. So it's to heal cancer, it's to heal the people. So I'm calling upon my father, my brother, my mother, my aunt, anybody that has ever died of cancer, or anybody that's no longer here that has really been affected by cancer, to help me heal this and to help me heal the people that are still alive today, so that stories like this may reach them, so they will understand that they're not alone. And I call upon the archangels and angels and every other spirit that wishes to come forward at this moment. Nasuin te makane. Nasa no huria nahin. Noa kasan na makane. Horsori nahan. Nasa nori no moko. No marine. Nasai nakat. Nakoruf. Nasinti. Hornayan namorientu. Why noyano yasan daki. We stand in a circle around the world. All the people in the world that are struggling with cancer, they light up like in golden flames, with a red aura around the golden flames. The people that are affected, Ayani, have white light with a red halo around each of them. Nayanokus. There's not a lot of places in the world that have none, that have no light around them. The red light is significant. The golden red and the white and the red. There's a red halo around every one. Nyokosinai. Nasano. This is the struggle. Namaniakan. No so. Nahientomokan. Asaye nakano kuriani. Nasinduko. No kus anahi. We all hold hands. Namayanai gatayo. All the spirits. Nasani nakan. Come forward. Let us hold hands and shed love and light and healing through all the souls on this planet that need our help, to need our healing, to need our love, to hear the sounds. The vibrational sounds of love. Om Nyai Nyo Soi. Onyanya no Sai. Oinai Nao Sun. Mayai no Koro Nai. Osayamayanai. Nayam. Oriyan now. Annayorangyan. Uyan. no kukinan, osoyai, no kurai, nayano yuran, yanaki, urayan, moko gandai, yanayanto, urdandai, iya, niano sayan, niano si, usamanayan, tokoyan, tosoyan, hokokantintai, asayana, hokokiyan, nayanayakoyatoi, hayanomokohiyanai, okokuyatsiato, ayanai atasayapo. I place my hands into the place. Oyaki. It is a sticky place. No koyanum. The souls that are trapped here cannot move, cannot see. All they can experience is choking, blindness. Ayanam, aikianamam, like being trapped in resin. Toyokui, they cannot open their eyes. They cannot smell. They cannot move just a fraction at a time, like in slow motion. How long would it take them to free themselves from this place? It seems like an impossible task. Hayanan. So many are trapped here. Hoyanaka. Barely able to move. Onai. Akayaisi. Thousands of miles of an ocean with millions of souls trapped, cannot move. No. They're crying out in pain and suffering. Oriyanai, 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 they say. But all they can do is choke on their words and fall farther into this place. All hope is lost for these souls unless we come here to set them free. O nai kanasum. Are you willing to come to me? Come with me to help heal this place of suffering. I walk into here. Osoyan. I glow. Okoyan. With golden white light. Nayano. Sayoko. As I walk through this place, I expand my energy to create a walkway for all of us to follow. Stay within the bubble of the light that I am creating. The bubble is as big as the amount of souls that are with me. We go deep within this realm, in this space, to the center of it, with thousands of miles above us, below us, surrounding us. Koyan Dayanomayan Tuyonain Osiorai Pokiano. I move to the center of this realm. Tiyoko. Join me. Expand the light from your heart to fill this bubble. Orian. Allow it to absorb each and every soul that is here, to expand the bubble outwards. As the full souls fall into this bubble of love and light, there will be another soul to catch them. A soul from the other side, a part of themselves. Ianayo. The souls fall into here, and a part of their light catches them, embraces them. Ianai. Orianai mayo. Ianai orianai ngom. Ianao. Mosorai anamo. Iayanayo. Kurai yenao siayadai. Oranai. Urai anayoran. Tianomian. Usurayanainoro yanainain. Baiayosai. Tia Noko Ryanayo Ryanayon Sorayanai Siuro yanai Tororai sayan Mokure nasian Pororianai Nasayanai Dorn Tingonai Tursorayan Ayanayom. Each of the souls are absorbed into the versions of themselves that are glowing brighter than the sun. Nokuyanai. Each of these give off light like the roots of a tree, expanding outwards, upwards to every soul on earth. Nayanom, that is willing to accept the healing of love, understanding. Yasaya nokum, acceptance. Ornyan Noriaon Yayanakorai Yayanainayamorne. All the souls that accept this energy are floating above the earth, just a few feet above the surface of the earth. Orion. All this light interconnects us all, so they reach deep within our souls, within ourselves, to heal the parts of us Yanaing that the cancer takes hold of, that manipulates our light into chaos. So we take back the chaos and turn it into light. You visualize ourselves turning into light, that the cancer within all of us turns to light and love, and then absorb back into ourselves to make us stronger, to make us all stronger. Warnyanayanoku Ayanai Ayanasanai Yonginan Horai Nai Nokorian Nixiorai. We are all one. We are all healed. We are all stronger, knowing, wiser. We are full of love. We are full of acceptance. We are always what we are meant to be. Yananganorai Urokorai Nayan Tusoyanan Nakayani Sanato Horai Nemo Konena. My mother wishes to say a few words to you all. She smiles upon everyone. Ikorayanan. She sends her heart out to every single one that wishes to accept it. Her purpose is to help the souls of this world to be able to rise above the pain and the suffering this world sometimes brings. To heal ourselves from the pain that is deep within us all. It's not just cancer, it's all disease, all pain, all suffering, all wrongdoing, all wrongdoing. It is the hate of the world. She sends her love to all of you through me. She works with me to help reach all of you. All of us are blessed with life, understanding, and wisdom. When things become difficult, this is when she glows the brightest. This is when we become the strongest. If we accept the light within our hearts, we will rise above everything. We will become like a mountain in a storm, unmovable. Yatayano Kusi. She loves all of you. Nasayani. When you find yourself in the dark, just call upon her. Sayano Kianamon. Dasai. She will help you, bring you back to the light. No soyina. That is her gift to you. Nakine, my son. When you find yourself unable to walk, she'll be by your side to help you through the transition of life and death. Kai soyinto. But she always blesses the world as well with life. She loves bringing children into this world. Koyanamo. Yatai into Kayeno. Sanain. The suffering that she went through has made her stronger, more understanding of the suffering of the world. Sayanoku. So her suffering is your blessing. Nayano Kasanai. And her honor to help each and every one of you. Manahinako. She is proud of all of you. Yasanoku Tanai Nukwas. Because she knows what suffering can be like. Tasano Pakahin Nasan Tokorai. It is okay to cry. It is okay to fall. But remember, you are never alone. All you have to do is pull your hand up so someone can take it and lift you out of the darkness. Sanain kakato. Nahi noku. So you can be set free. Nano kuyeni. Thank you, everyone. And that is the journey. And I'm just taking me a few minutes. If you wish to, screw it. You guys watched my videos before. Just visit my website at amonrosawakening.com and my Northern Light page at Joseph Bradley Roars. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.